This is an emergency broadcast. Liz Truss, after just 44 days, has been the second Prime Minister to resign from the Conservatives in under 8 weeks. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what that means and the impact on the UK economy and for property investors. Now, usually this sort of thing happens because of death, illness, a war, something crazy going on, none of which Liz has had to deal with. Now, I'm not here to talk about my political opinion or anything like that, because frankly, it doesn't matter. But why does this matter to you as a property investor? And this is the unsexy secret of growth. Great foundations and stability, of which we have none. And this is why London, as a financial centre of the world, because of the history and security of London as a financial centre, kind of like building a skyscraper on the best foundations and it goes brilliantly, whereas if you build a house on a rubbish foundation, it cracks. So what does this actually mean and what's the impact? Well, as you can imagine, other political parties are having an absolute field day with the Lib Dems and Labour demanding an immediate election, general election going on. I mean, she got 0.2% of the votes to go in. There's a lot of speculation around she was never prepared for this situation. And the thing is, Boris, love him or hate him, again, not sharing an opinion, he was somebody that got through Brexit and COVID with minimal changes and some fair stability. Again, not saying whether he was good or bad, but we did have that. And then we had Rishi Sunak, who represented stability and arguably got the country through fairly bloody well through COVID with the support that was needed at the time. So what does this actually mean for the Conservatives, and what does it mean for the overall government? And more importantly, what does it mean to you? I think Nicola Sturgeon has said it quite well. I actually read the tweet about 20 minutes ago that she tweeted saying, the people that are impacted most is the ordinary person. And this is good and bad, and I'll explain. Emotionally speaking, this is horrible. You know, the average person is going to be dramatically impacted by that, and I'll talk about how that is. But you know, on the pro side, it creates opportunity. Now, I want to be really careful on how I communicate this because it can come across really badly, but ultimately, you are watching this video and I'm guessing you're on this channel to develop yourself and be somebody that can take advantage of the world and realize that it's all happening for us rather than to us. But the average individual doesn't know how to take advantage of uncertainty. They don't understand how to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming up, but we can. How does it actually impact the ordinary person? Well, this uncertainty has a global impact. What happens initially is the pound. The pound is likely to go down further. We'll see if this comes true, right? And the reason for this is when you've got uncertainty in a country, one of the easy things that represents the country is its money, its currency. Now, that would be fine if everything was pegged against that, but it's not. Most of the world is pegged against the US dollar. So if US dollar is here and the pound's here, but now it's gone to here, like it's dropped, that means that we need to spend more money to buy more dollars. And then when we purchase off of other countries, they are purchased in US dollars. Now, the big threshold, by the way, is if a pound goes below the dollar, which has never happened. And that would have a fairly dramatic impact. Now, where does it mostly impact people from the imports? It's their utilities, the gas and the electric. And the cost of living crisis has been fairly huge right now and has a dramatic impact on us already. So much so that the government has had to step in to actually support those people. What's going to happen now is more than likely the cost of that's going to go up, which again is going to put a strain on the cost of living for the average individual. But also, if the government does step in, it means it's likely going to have to take on more debt through bonds to fund some sort of bailout for us, or indeed, probably a smarter move in my opinion, apply a tax, an additional tax to those utility companies. But either way, not a great impact. Does this mean the economy is going to collapse? No, I think that's a little bit over dramatic. Do I think this is going to encourage a faster recession? Yes, but recessions in general are massively over dramatized. They last between 9 and 11 months. This is likely to be the same. And all it means is 2 consecutive quarters where it goes down. So please do not listen to the news, the magazines that massively catastrophize a situation that can be managed. So yes, it is going to cause that impetus. But what's the good news for this, for those people that are ready? And the word is opportunity. Now, here's what's likely to happen. In property investment, you need to realize that it's kind of unique to the economy. So it doesn't, just because there is a recession doesn't mean there's a drop in house values and things like that. In fact, in the last 6 recessions, there's only 2 that actually had property prices dropping. And one of those was 2008, which wasn't a normal recession. It was a housing crisis that caused the recession. So it's pressure on an upward trend. So even though we're like, why is it still going up? All the way through this, property prices have still been going up. So do I believe that property prices are going to drop? No, I don't. I think they're going to stabilize, which it's not a bad thing. You know, we've had growth of 10 to 12% this last year. I think it's going to slow between 4 and 6%. And worth saying, I am still proactively buying property. You should never, ever, ever, ever not buy property as an investment. It's just how you buy it. Now, here's where the opportunities are, and this is where it is going to sound like ambulance chasing, but it is the reality. What's going to happen is individuals are going to have to sell quickly. So what we've experienced over the last 2 years is you've always been able to get great property prices, maybe even a bit of discount, 5-10 grand off, you know, sometimes. But what we had pre-COVID is that people that needed to sell quickly, they maybe inherited it, maybe they're having financial difficulties, maybe it's a probate property, they just want to exit it. They didn't really have a fast outlet. And so you could offer a 5-10% discount on extreme levels because an estate agency couldn't possibly cope with that. Over the last 2 years, people, even if they needed to sell today and start the legals, what actually happened is you start it today, it would start, and you put a property on today and it would go through legals really quickly. It would sell within a couple of days. We've had properties where it goes on at 150 and it's got multiple offers of 170 the same day. That is likely to stop. There's so much demand for these purchases, there's going to be less buyers on there. But there's still more buyers than sellers. So what this means, and for us, is that those people out of all of that still need to sell quickly, this is going to be our opportunity to actually get it at market value or even a discount to pay for the stamp duty fees and everything like that. It is horrible thinking this way, and it is horrible for the average person. But for an investor, it's going to provide a great opportunity as an investment and obviously provide a home for an individual, which is really cool as well. On that note, we are likely to see more rental demand, which unfortunately for those renting is likely going to drive up rental prices again, which if you are a renter, I'm really sorry about that. But this is definitely becoming a buyer's game. The average individual will get terrified by this, like the average buyers, investors, which is why you're watching this channel, right? But those of us that understand what's happening, this is an amazing investment opportunity. And I hope that's received in the right way. The other really exciting thing that, dependent on where you stood, is foreign investment. Now imagine, I'm going to make this easy. Let's say you've got $200,000. And right now, making these numbers up, $200,000 can buy you £250,000 worth of sterling. And you can buy a property at that. So let's say properties say the exact same price and you still have $200,000. But because the pound is now weaker, let's say $200,000 now, because the pound has dropped, can buy you £320,000. So because of that currency exchange, you buying that property for £250,000 hasn't cost you $200,000 anymore. The pound has already dropped about 24%, by the way, which means if you're a foreign investor buying from the US currency, which everything's pegged against, you will be getting a 24% discount on property based on buying at the market value because of that exchange rate. What this does is it encourages a flood of this foreign investment coming through. So hopefully this emergency broadcast has given you a bit of an update. I'm going to be doing loads of research on this and maybe announce another video on this and the impacts and rollout in the next couple of weeks. But namely, for those of you that are ready, this is an amazing opportunity. Do not get scared about buying property. This is an incredible opportunity that this is what we've been waiting to happen, but we've been waiting for an opportunity like this for the last couple of years. I'm going to be going all in on this. My investors are going to be going all in on this and really taking advantage. I think we're going to see massive increase in the foreign investors. I think we're going to see a drop of the pound and a bit of a struggle for the average person. I think we're going to see an increase in rents. I think capital growth is still going to be strong between 4 and 6% for the next year, but it will slow down to that. And I honestly think that the Conservatives will bring in Rishi Sunak. Love him or hate him, he represents stability and he's all big on Liz. Liz will tell you the fun stuff and it's all good. I will tell you what you need to hear. But ultimately, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a general election come into play. But let me know what you think in the comments. This is just my opinion, off the cuff, my initial thoughts. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you're new to this channel, by the way, I'm a property investment channel, and that's why I'm coming from this context of what I think as a property investor. If you want to find out more about property, and this isn't about being a millionaire, by the way, this is about entry level, finding out a bit more about it so you can start taking more control of your life. If that sounds of interest to you, make sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And it really helps tremendously if on your way to the next video, you hit the like button, and I hope to see you on the channel.